his might and sing of his grace, whose robe is the light, whose canopy is space.
Adam, wake up already. We've arrived. Well, judging by the biological indicators, you've not yet recovered from hibernation. I'll activate the recovery program now. Awake, sleeping Petey?
During the flight, there was a malfunction in the hibernation program that resulted in temporary amnesia and damage to the vocal cords.
I told you that it was a terrible idea to fly for... some mythical stone of immortality to some weird planet. You really think you can revive me? That you can bring my conscience back to the body? Okay. I didn't expect to have to teach a mercenary how to fight, but I have no choice. Raven will teach you. How to control the exosuit, and I'll display the targets on the screen.
You can turn either physically or using the right stick.
Adam, I see you're starting to recover from hibernation. I hope all of this wasn't in vain and we actually find this Heart of Resurrect.
Wave your hands up and down while holding the left stick to run.
You, of course, are a dangerous and tough mercenary who isn't used to running away from danger. But who knows what awaits you on Resurrect?
Grace, please do not interfere in the rehibernation process. You can access the exosuit firmware interface and change button bindings at any time.
You know, when you're pressing buttons in the exosuit menu, it's like I can feel your touches.
You can climb ledges with the L1 and R1 buttons. Put your hand on a ledge, hold the R1 button, push yourself up, and then release the button.
And here's my favorite part. Let's remember why you were nicknamed Deadhook.
Extend your right arm forward and upward. Press the cross button to activate the hook. You can also release the hook from the left glove using the square button.
By the way, the coins in the air are our favorite M coins. Since this currency exists on Resurrect, there are likely intelligent creatures there.
Take the weapon with the R1 button. Activate it by holding the R1 and R2 buttons for 3 seconds.
Weapons are printed on 3D printers. Before using them, they need to be synchronized with the systems of the exosuit.
Hold the R2 button to shoot.
What a creepy creature.
Your exosuit is equipped with additional features. One of them is Gust. To select it, hold down the circle button on the right controller. To use the Gust, hold the R2 button, build up energy, then make a rapid thrust forward while releasing the R2 button. The shockwave will stun the enemy and deal damage.
I see you're getting into it. I recognize the good old dead hook. Wow, you're practically a wizard, Adam.
The second function is the freeze. To use the freeze, direct your palm to the enemy. Your suit is equipped with additional armor. Armor status information is displayed on the exosuit display above the HP bar. Flamethrower is the third feature in your exosuit and is used to replenish armor. Activate it. Point your palm at the enemy to on Resurrect. There are holoburn solutions. To open them, hold the holoburn roads with the R1 and L1 buttons and pull them sideways. Holoburns contain valuable resources. Use the R1 button to take the amplifier from the holoburn and activate it by holding the R2 button for 3 seconds.
Just a reminder, amplifiers are compact energy containers with upgrades for your exosuit and weapons. Also, your exosuit has the Gutripper function. Laser blades. It charges up after tearing apart enemies.
The number of charges for a sword strike is displayed on the back of your right hand. This is your ultimate.
You were able to rip an enemy's limb off even without an exosuit. Let's see what you're capable of now.
Enemies with low health are vulnerable to melee attacks. Try punching them. Now, try to tear the enemy with your hand. Activate the ultimate by holding the R1 and L1 buttons on both controllers. By sharply swinging the sword, your right glove is equipped with the E-Saw function. You will find the rope to activate the E-Saw. The rehibernation process is completed.
When you come back with the Stone of Immortality, we can finally do some things again. Well, you know, not via the damn brain-computer interface.
Raven just come back to me. God, what happened?
A high-frequency EMP from Resurrect was recorded. It blocks the energy core work activity. Backup power is activated. The ship will be completely blacked out if the power supply is not restored within 10 minutes.
Will my consciousness be erased forever? God, Adam, please. Faster. Find that EMP source and eliminate it.
System malfunction. Restoring normal operation of energy gates.
You won't be able to take weapons from Raven with you. They'll disappear when you pass through the energy gate. Where did you end up? The energy gate was supposed to transport you to the planet's surface?
The geolocation was disrupted due to an electromagnetic anomaly.
Wow, where did this holoband storage come from? Let me try to hack it. Bingo! Adam, I've gained access to the holoband firmware. They were installed by the miners from a city called Cordcaster on the planet's surface. The Cordcaster miners dug up this place. According to their records, it's a temple called the Halls of Shavor. The miners blocked the doors for some reason. I hacked them and removed the blockage. Faster! Find the EMP source! These creatures are protecting the EMP source. Kill them all! If you dodge an attack in time, you can activate Rapid, which drastically speeds up your reflexes. These creatures are horrifying. In the miners' records, they are referred to as infernals. Due to the anomaly, the architecture of the temples is constantly changing. Unusual types of infernals may also appear, and the conditions for your survival may change. I will display for you descriptions and names of the fixed anomaly in the rooms that can be scanned.
The EMP source is in the next room. Faster, to destroy it! There's almost no time left!
Giant insect-like creature.
Destroy this goddamn beetle!
Less than a minute left before the Raven power core is turned off.
Crap! Crap! Crap!
Has been restored, restarting the system.
What? How? Why?
The EMP source is significantly weakened. The power core has been restored.
These creatures were connected to the source of the EMP. It turns out to be an insect-like creature, a giant beetle. You've done a massive damage to them and weakened the source. Hooray! I wish I could kiss you.
Grace, you can initiate a physical contact with Adam after finding the Stone of Immortality.
Can't wait. Surely the stone is somewhere near this bloody beetle.
Restarting the system caused damage to the exosuit.
Now I have to re-improve your exosuit with injections.
Grace, please remind Adam of the ship's functionality.
Fine. Let me remind you how you equipped Raven with the money from your contract killings. There's a shooting range on the ship where you can train killing infernals. I found a list of tasks for Cordcaster soldiers in their database. They mostly involve killing infernals. There are rewards offered for their heads, cool guns, amplifiers. I thought you might want to participate too. You can find various components on Resurrects. They're used to create injections to upgrade the exosuit. I've put together a recipe book for you. A smuggler's cookbook. Upgrade your exosuit. I won't let you leave without an injection. Next to the training ground, there are panels for printing weapons and summoning enemies. Raven will update their database when you...
Take the tablet and the upgrades injections. Familiarize yourself with the ingredients in the recipe necessary for the preparation of the serum. Insert the flask into the dispenser. necessary components into the grinder. The component broke. No problem. All components are returned to the dispenser. Re-pour the components in the flask. Use the rotary lever to pour the components. Use the rotary lever to mill the components. Put the necessary components into the grinder. Place the empty flask in the grinder to collect the processed material. To get the desired result, you need to select the compression ratio. Choose it according to the recipe. Pull the lever down, and the components will be... Take the flask with the liquid and put it in the centrifuge. The component broke. No problem. All components are returned to the dispenser. Re-pour the components in the flask. Take the flask with the liquid and put it in the centrifuge. The component broke. No problem. Take the flask with the liquid and press the start button on the centrifuge to initiate the mixing. Take the resulting serum with the grip button. Point it at the other hand and activate it with the trigger.
You can return to Resurrect. Let's find that damn stone as soon as possible. I'm tired of living in digital form.
Explore this strange place. As you approach the object, there'll be a circle to start scanning. When it's full, I'll be able to tell you more about the object.
I deciphered part of the data on Infernals. These monsters are undead, Adam. It seems like they came to resurrect from another reality. Freaky.
Due to the anomaly, the architecture of the temples is changing. I'll display information on anomalies in the rooms that have been scanned, and inform you about the weak spots of the monsters you encounter.
parasite here. If it jumps on you, it'll block your vision and keep fighting until your pulse stops. If you're attacked, quickly grab the parasite's claws and throw it off. Watch out for the mortar in this room. It can turn invisible. It becomes visible again when it shoots. Attack before it's gone. Watch sideways to avoid its shots. Infernals off using your own hands, with your fist, or just tear these creatures apart. Watch out! There's an arachnid here. Their attacks don't deal damage, but if they catch you in their web, you won't be able to use your hook. Keep moving. Don't let them hit you. There are no infernals in the next room. Ugh, we can take a break. It seems there's some kind of sacred place there. Those monsters are terrifying. The miners refer to them as infernals in their notes. Adam, are you okay?
Your suit is equipped with the reatomization system. In case of critical damage, it splits into atoms and is transported to the nearest biochamber.
I wish I had such an exosuit when I was dying. I wouldn't have had to transfer my consciousness to Raven and fly here. Do you remember how we met? I was singing at Hyper and you couldn't take your eyes off me all night. You know, back then I'd already given up on becoming a famous singer and saw no point in life. But you brought it back to me. We were so happy once. God, if only we could go back to those times.